Hi everyone, it's Kris. I am a barre and burlesque instructor from Seattle, Washington. I use she, her pronouns, and this is video 2 of my Intro to Barre series. And we're going to explore barre posture, and we're going to explore barre arms, and a little bit of some belly work as well. So let's start. I'm going to be sitting in a chair for this one. You could absolutely be standing up, but I'm going to sit up nice and tall in my posture. And if you've already watched video 1, you'll notice this sounds familiar, but we're going to look at 9 o'clock shoulders. So if you think about shoulders being up by your ears as 12 o'clock, we're going to just roll back to 9 o'clock. There's this opening of your chest and heart and a lift of your rib cage when you do that. I'll turn to the side so you can see this is kind of my regular posture. And then I'm going up to 12 and rolling back to 9, and that just lifts everything up. So I really try and think of that 9 o'clock shoulder position as I do these exercises. So let's start there, 9 o'clock shoulder, sitting up nice and tall, and I'm going to actually open up into a seated second position and come up onto releve, which is up onto my tippy toes, and just drop the heels down. See if it feels okay to open up here. And I'm going to go up and down, and I can rest my hands on my thighs. I can bring them to heart center, or I can bring my arms into like a ballet arm in front here and just up and down. See if you can stay really lifted as you're lifting those heels, and you can do one at a time. You can do both together. We're going to add an arm. So I'm going to open my arms and close. And if you notice, there's this tiniest of slope. So when I think about this ballet arm, I think about wrapping my arms around a tree and then kind of locking that shape and having that little baby slope. So then I'm going to lift both heels as I open and close, keeping that 9 o'clock shoulder, as if it's possible, open and close, open, close. For 4, drawing the belly button towards the spine. 3, 2, and 1. Then I'm going to keep this form and this posture and bring an arm up and down and up and down. Maybe both arms up, and then single, single, double. One more. Single, single, and double. So it can be hard to get into those arms to lock that shape. Oftentimes we want to kind of bend, extend. So think about hugging that tree, opening up and closing. And you can either keep everything nice and stiff, or you can open and kind of let the arms flow back in as if you're kind of moving them through water. So that's what I want to explore next with you, is a fluid arm. So like we're flapping our bird-like wings in slow motion. So we're going to break that down. I'm going to check my shoulders, lift up from the rib cage, sit up nice and tall, feel like proud and confident in my stance, and then I'm going to let my elbows come up, and then I'm going to rotate and pull the elbows down. So oftentimes we'll use weights in a barre class, light weights, 2 or 3 pound dumbbells, maybe ones. But what we're going to do today is a equipment-free, no weights required. You will feel your shoulders. So I'm going to go up, rotate, and pull down. And then just start to explore this as fluid. And think about that you're pulling your elbows through mud, or through like muddy water. Something that's going to give you a little bit of resistance, so it's not just moving your arms through air, but you're pulling up and down and up and down. And if it helps to picture like a Swan Lake costume to get that kind of fluidity in the arms, absolutely go for it. And bring it up. We're going to go 2, and last 1, and down. So think about wrapping around, hugging that tree again, and let's go ahead and take those legs open into our second position, as open as you can go, toes and knees in the same direction, And we're going to just repeat this. So we're going to go up and down. Second set, 2, 3, 4, 4 more. For 4, 3, good, 2, and 1. Then rest it down, bring the legs in, and think up and down like you're moving through mud or muddy water, something with a little bit of resistance. And then I talk with some of my dance clients a lot about like relaxed, graceful hands instead of like jazz hands down, which I'm down. I'm always up for a good jazz hand. But think about like your fingers. So I'm wearing my velour pants. Think about your fingers like petting my velour pants. They're very, very soft. So when you're moving your arms here, think about that kind of soft, like you're petting a bunny. Something there to just relax your fingertips. A dance teacher of mine told me like you're holding an egg and don't let the egg break. I like to think of petting a bunny more than holding an egg. All right, we're gonna go for 3, 2, and 1. Very nice, you guys. Let's come back into that second position, but we're gonna change up the arms a little bit. So this is a great hip opener. Remember, knees over toes. And I'm going to reach side, center, and side, center. Again, fluid arms if that's possible, or think reach, center, reach if that feels more at home for you. And I'm taking a little side bend without trying to shift my weight. I'm trying to keep my weight grounded as I reach and over. So I often do this exercise standing, but seated is definitely an option. And actually I'm getting this wonderful stretch in my hips and I feel my inner thighs working a great deal in this position. We're gonna do one more and finish it out here. Beautiful. So let's learn one more like swan lake arm, and it's gonna be to push away, press, and then side, and then down. So think about like, I don't know, I mean, do you embody a Disney princess? This to me is Disney princess arms. Like push and press, and you can absolutely add the neck turn and the facial expressions, or you can just play it straight and press, side, down. Again, like you're pushing through quicksand, you're pushing through mud, you're pushing an elevator shaft that's closing on you, away from you. Find that visualization that gets all those muscles fired up, so it's not just air, but you're creating tension in the body, and that tension comes from our brains. You don't have to just hold weights, you can create it yourself. For 3, and up, 2, down, last 1, and up, bring it down, and shake it out. Let's do one more round of those. So we're gonna come back into that second position, knees and toes in the same place, and we're gonna reach side, center, side, center. Think about sitting up as tall as it feels good for you today. Think about those 9 o'clock shoulders, that open heart, and side, center, for 3, 2, last 1. And then bringing those legs back in and press away and become that Disney princess or Disney prince. I don't know if the princes did that as much, but that's a topic for a different conversation. Press away, push, press, press. For 5, think of that mud, think of that quicksand. 4, and press. Good. 3, 2, check in with your posture. Are you sitting up as tall as you can? Last 1, press away, and relax. Shake it out. I'm going to do one last seated arm position with you. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I want to hinge forward a little bit. So if it means stepping wider to make room for your belly, perfectly fine. Just a little hinge to lengthen the back. And I want to see if I can get my hands behind me and think shoulders back. So you're kind of pressing your chest out, and we're going to lift up. And I want to think about if there was like a brick on the back of my upper arm and I was trying to lift that brick up a couple inches up. So the work is coming from back here, nice long torso, press up. And here I'm not worrying about holding an egg or petting a rabbit in my hands. I'm just thinking of that upper arm pressing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. So I'm going to turn to my chair to the side so you can really see what my posture is doing. And I want to take my hands to my knees and think about a little rounding the back, and then think about an arch. So a seated spine stretch, like a seated cat-cow, a rounding, and then a lift. And then next time you're in rounding, I want you to hold this position, but less about the upper body and more the lower. So I'm going to try and tilt my pelvis up, pull my belly button towards my spine, and then relax my shoulders. So I have a back on my chair. I can kind of press into it to get me that tilting up, or I can hover. We can also do this on the floor, but today we're working in a chair. From here, that tilting the pelvis up, that kind of pulling in of the belly, we're trying to make a C curl in the body, and I can either hold on to my legs or hold on to the chair or arms out, and I'm going to do one leg lifting up at a time. And I want you to think about lifting from your belly button. So if you had a string around your knee and it went through your belly button, through your spine, and if I pulled on that string, it would be lifting your knee through the belly button, through the spine. So I want you to try and say a word, say a sentence with me. And if you sound like this, you might be there with me. And if you sound without any like tension or challenge in the voice, then you may not be trying to connect through the stomach as much as you could. So see if that little trick makes a difference for you. And up. And then notice if you start to sit relaxed. This can be done with flexibility versus if I'm connecting to that curl position, that kind of pulling back, tilting up, and then bringing it up, like that little belly button and knee string trick. Ooh, right there. And remember, you can hold on, you can be here, and we're gonna do 5, 4, exhale as the knee raises, 3, right there, 2, and last 1. Good. If you feel any tension up here in your hip flexors, we're going to take just a little stretch by bringing the ankle to the opposite thigh, and then the other side. So, thank you for watching this video with me. We just went over some bar arms and the bar curl position. We will be revisiting all of these things together, and I look forward to doing that. The next 2 videos with me are going to be the bar glutes and lower back standing, and then I have my final video, bar glutes and lower back on the mat. So I hope to see you again. Have fun.